How to improve at chess? I think that's an important question when you are an adult chess player. And I think most content out there is designed to help the youngster, the person who has a lot of time to improve and try things. But what happens if you're the type of person who don't have a lot of time for chess and still want to improve? Well, I made this video to show you what are those things you have to improve to start seeing results. Maybe you want to improve your rating by 300 points, or maybe you want to get somehow to 2000 rating, or maybe you just want to unleash your true potential for the game because you enjoy it. If that's the case, well, this masterclass is for you. I know this can be a little bit long, but I promise you, after you watch the whole training, I believe you will be a much better player. Or at least you will have a new perspective on what it takes to improve your chess. So I hope you enjoy it. So see you in the masterclass. Hello, I'm Diego Villanueva. I'm a chess coach, and in today's video, I'm going to show you how to get to 2000 rating just by adding 1 hour a day of smart work. So in this presentation, you learn a training plan to get to 2000 as an adult player, how to play your best chess and overcome your peak rating, how to eliminate the blunders that ruin your progress and make you feel shame, providing you with more confidence in your game, how to make smart decisions in chess and life, how to optimize your time for training and make it effective, and what is the number one thing you must train now to get better at chess. Let me introduce myself real quick. I am Diego Villanueva. I'm a founder of Premium Chess Coaching. I have been working as a chess coach for 7 years. Now I work exclusively with adult chess players, and I've been picked Chess Coach of the Month in August by Chess.com. My username is Chess Coach Diego in case you want to send me a friend request, say hi. We can talk over there. And yeah, like I said, today I'm going to show you how to become a 2000 rated player. If you're skeptical about it, before we start, I want to tell you that it's possible to improve your chess if you're an adult player, even if the odds are against you, if you don't have time, if your job is very demanding, if you have to run a business, if you travel a lot, or maybe you might even consider yourself old for chess. You can do it. You can improve. You can get much better, have tons of fun, and improve like never before. Just like Nathan. Who's Nathan? Well, I helped Nathan Rose, author of Chess Openings Names 1 and 2, to go from 1600 to over 2000. Okay, and well, he's Nathan. Here you can see a graphic of his progress. We started working at the end of 2021, and from there he, reached 2000 plus. He's an author of Chess Opening Names, and Nathan was like you, an adult chess player. In this case, he was an entrepreneur who didn't have much time for chess because he had to run a business, and he travels a lot. But still, he reached 2000 rating. Why? Because he got a better training plan. And we will study his case later. I'm going to show you what we did and how I help him, and how is this linked to the training plan I want to show you for free in this class. Now, before we start, I want to be very clear on this. This masterclass is for you if you truly want to get better at chess, okay? This is going to be demanding. It's not like, of course, yes, you got to add 1 more hour to your of training into your routine, but it's not going to be easy. I'm not going to tell you, hey, just do puzzles or watch videos. No, it's like you got to take it more seriously, okay? You don't have to train 4 hours a day, but the point is, you want a more serious approach, and you don't want to watch random videos or just solve random puzzles, because that's what most people, do, and that's why they are stuck. So if you're ready to have a more structured approach, this is for you. Now, if you know you can do much better because your results tend to shame you because the blunders you make don't represent how good your chess can be, this is for you. Because if you truly want to change that, I think you can grasp a lot of value out of this call. If you're already successful in life and you want to the same for your chess, this is also for you. If time is your most valuable asset and you want to make your chess practice more efficient, and also if you're an adult player that is 30 years older, 30 years old or older than that, I don't work with younger people anymore. I mean, with youngsters, and it's important that I have structure all my tips. All the things that I do with my students, are designed to help people who are, evolve this age mark. So it is important to remind this. Also, if you want to stop playing with bots and overcome the fear of losing points, and you want to play tournaments, or this is for you if you want to play tournaments, but want to level up first because you feel you might perform poorly under your current conditions. And especially this is for you if you have a growth-oriented mindset. You want to make consistently steady progress and want to avoid being an average player forever. Okay, so if you gather some of these points, this is for you. If this is not for you, you won't get value out of this call. If you just play chess for fun, we all play chess for fun, but if you're not interested in study or implementing the tips I'm going to share with you today, then this is not for you, okay? Because you will have to make an active effort to improve your chess. If you don't have at least 1 hour a day to study slash play chess, this is not for you. If you're okay with your results and are interested in improving, again, not for you. If you are here to learn tricks, traps, or shortcuts, I'm not a big fan of that. I'm more oriented to long-term progress, so not for you. If you're young, underage, and you have all the time in the world to try things, certainly you won't require these tools because the idea is to optimize your time. So not for you. And you are just learning the game. If you have less than 100 games, I recommend to keep playing more and come back to this video once you have over, 500 games actually. If you're not willing to invest in your hobbies or don't understand how important it is to invest in the things that bring you joy, then this class is not for you, for sure. Okay, let's understand the problem, why most people cannot progress, okay? Let's start. I took some screenshots of some Reddit threads I found. And for example, this guy, he says, I'm so bad at chess that it's generally upsetting at this point. I need some hope. Well, that's I would say, the experience for 90% of people that are playing chess right now. In my experience, the number one thing that kills your progress and ruins your games are the blunders and serious mistakes you make in a game. And especially those that you can avoid if you would pay more attention. So yeah, the reason why this guy is so stuck right now is because he makes blunders. We all make blunders, but in this case, if you're stuck, it's because you make blunders because you have developed bad playing habits. Okay, that's the reason why most people are stuck. So let's see. First of all, I want to share with you what do I mean by bad habits and some characteristics. And if you gather this, well, be careful because it doesn't matter how much opening theory you learn or how many middle game videos you watch. Now, if you keep dragging these bad habits, you're going to make the same mistakes over and over again. So, playing too fast, thinking too fast, that's a terrible bad habit. Not second guessing your calculation, not paying attention to the ideas of your opponent. This is a classic, right? Playing the first move that comes to your mind, only following your instincts and ignoring the objective elements of the position, another mistake. Not playing with a plan or don't know how to create a proper plan, another mistake. You can't calculate more than 3 moves ahead and still you hope your move is correct and gives you an advantage. You lose track of where your pieces are and leave them undefended or give them away. Or just the opposite. You spend way much time in a position where you should be more practical. And the problem is that you don't know when to play fast and when to take more time. Okay, these are the most, I would say, frequent mistakes people make, and all of these mistakes happen because we have bad playing habits, right? Playing too fast, for example, making a blunder in a position that you're winning. So basically today, I'm going to show you how to start fixing this and what is the number one thing you have to do. So these mistakes cost you many, many points, and they are the reason why you're stuck, Here I took another screenshot. Why can I stop blundering? I know blundering is inevitable. Yes, that's true. And everyone over 1500 ELO laughs when they hear stop blundering, but I don't think most people understand. No, I understand. I understand. Yes, actually, even 1500, 1600, 1700s make tons of blunders. Okay, a blunder is just let's be clear. A blunder is when you, for example, the assessment of the position, drops. Like you make a move, and let's say the position is even, you make a move, and from 0, it goes to -2, which means you are making a move that is not helping you. Actually, it's damaging your position. Or maybe you're winning, and you see that the evaluation bar says +5, you have the white pieces, and then you make a move, and it goes from +5 to 0. It means that from winning, now the game is even again. So that is a blunder. Actually, it's making a decision that harms your position. And that happens at all levels. Maybe the type of blunders that 1200 rated players make is different than the type of blunder that 1800 rated player makes. But the point is, all of us make blunders. However, it's in our best interest to learn a systematic approach to avoid them and also find a better move, better moves. So first of all, before I show you the solution, I want you to truly understand the problem. Think about your recent losses, okay? Just, think about the last 10 defeats you had, all right? And also think about the ones that are bothering you the most. Here are typical situations. For example, you had a winning position that you ruined for playing fast and not paying attention to the threats of your opponent. Or maybe you made an obvious move without double checking first, which turned out to be a serious blunder. Or maybe you got horribly crushed in the opening because your opponent surprised you with some moves you weren't expecting. You tried to use the same opening ideas you have tried before, but you're still lost. Or you got into a complex position with many captures on the air and didn't know how to predict the best sequence. You end up making serious mistakes. It's like not being able to spot the ideas of your opponent. What is the perfect combination of a blunder? The blunder formula. Playing fast, not paying attention to the ideas of your opponent, not being able to see more than 2-3 moves ahead, not comprehending what's going on in the game. That's a perfect recipe to make a blunder, and that's why you're losing. Okay, just think about your recent losses. These situations occur to you because the way how you think in chess is unfocused, or maybe weak, or over optimistic. Okay, and in other words, you're stuck because your calculation is weak. Okay, basically, I define calculation of the way how I define calculation, to put it very simple, is how you think before making a move. Basically, so the way how you calculate is weak, and the way how you think before making a move is very weak. And that's the reason why you're losing over and over again. So the idea is that you can improve your if you want to improve your calculation, which actually means improving the way how you think before you making a move. Okay? It doesn't matter what's your level, there's always room to improve this area. And this master skill will elevate the other areas of your games. Good opening repertoire won't help you if you don't have good calculation. A strong understanding of the endgame technique doesn't help you if you don't have a good calculation. All right. So this is the number one thing you got to improve. If you can improve this is going to be very easy for you. You're going to start fixing these problems, and voila, you will start getting progress. Here, I decided to, I copied this image because when you type down calculation in chess, it's very easy to find images like this. Okay. And what is this? This is an illustration of the thought process. This is an illustration of a strong calculation process from a grandmaster. You can see the thought process. Actually, this is the move this master is calculating, and here in this branches are the possible responses of the opponent. And for every arm, let's call it that way, there are this master already has a plan. Like here, if I'm gonna play G4, I mean this is very, I don't know if you can see this, but here actually in this image, this master is calculating G4, and he's calculating what if his opponent do option 1, option 2, 3, and 4. And for every option, the master has different, a different solution, basically. A different solution. Anyways, it's, grandmasters, when you see them thinking in tournaments, this is what they're doing. And they're doing it in a way that is very accurate, and it's amazing. Good news is that to get to 2000, you don't have to calculate this way. This is for professionals. I know that here, you're not here watching this to become a grandmaster. That's not my intention. It is chess is fun, but if you truly understand the concepts that allows you to think like this, you will be able to replicate something like this. But the most important thing, you will be 2 steps ahead in your competition. And that's the cool part about it. And we're going to talk about this in this video. But yeah, like I said, you don't have to copy this. I mean, you don't need to get to this level, right? But I just want to show you how it looks like if you do it correctly. Let's think about the solution. Now that you understand the problem, first of all, there's a hard pill to swallow. Training more tactics, endgames, or studying the latest bestseller opening course can help you to a certain extent. But if you never learn to strengthen your calculation, you're doomed to stay stuck for years. I took another screenshot. Why the fuck is chess so hard? Why the F is chess so hard? Well, he says, I've been playing for 3 months, and I always, this guy basically is ranting about he cannot progress. And yes, chess can feel very hard if you don't get this right. Most people ignore this. Okay, most people get discouraged and never train chess because they feel they need to improve their tactics, openings, middle games, and they feel they don't have the time to do all of this. And to be honest, there are a lot of when you sit and you try to study chess, there are so many directions. There are so many things you can do. The idea, at least my philosophy, is to focus on one thing. Like I said, why are you losing games? There's one reason: you make blunders. The way how you think before making a move is weak. You should start there. So. Another screenshot. Hello, chess community. I officially quit chess at this day. This time, 34 lose streaks. I worked hard on my 2004 rating, but it just banished it into 1800. I tried playing Bullet, gives me 34 lose streak, and I'm just bad at this game, which is a shame, It's the reason why I wanted to create this document is because a lot of people feel not only ashamed about the results, but also discouraged, and they end up quitting the game, which is I don't get it. Chess is an amazing game, and it actually can help a lot in different areas of your game. So I created this doc to, help you, and please don't quit the game. To improve your chess thinking means to improve your calculation. Vice versa, to improve your calculation means improving your chess thinking. Like I said, improving the way how you think before making a move. That's it. This is a master skill that will elevate your other areas of the game. So instead of focusing on too many things, put effort into doing one thing right. And here's a roadmap to 2000. All right. The previous explanation is vital to understanding where to spend more of your time. So Your training, if you are interested in training chess, this is everything you need. You need to study concepts to improve your game, which means like grasp some concepts from middle games, openings, end games, and also you need to stretch your calculation skills through harder puzzles. The reason why it's hard for you to remember some ideas or to apply some ideas is because your muscle memory is not working properly, and also the way how you think before making a move is not trained. So that's why it's hard for you to remember concepts. It's hard for you to apply these concepts into your game. Also, when you want to improve your chess, you need to play games and you need to study them, which is a different topic. It is important, but basically this is what it is, and you need to repeat. You know. And from all of this, I would spend more of my time doing this to strengthen your calculation skills. So actually, here's the list of things based on your priorities. First, stretching your calculation skills through hard puzzles. Studying concepts to improve your game. You can do this by getting a coach or reading a book or watching videos and playing games and study them after. You know. But if this is not on top, man, you'll make mistakes over and over again. Okay, this takes time, but it pays off. Now, how to improve your calculation skills? Finally, now I'm going to show you how to do it. All right. Now that we have identified the number one thing you must do to improve your chess, the number one thing you must do to improve your chess is improve your calculation skills. That's the thing you need to do. So let me show you my 2 steps ahead system. All right. This is the 2 steps ahead system. The philosophy behind this is, and the reason why I call it that way is that a strong calculation feels like always being 2 steps ahead of your opponents. You know. And actually, this system has 4 steps. Okay, I'm going to show you first how these steps work, and then I'm going to show you how to use this to study chess and train chess, and how to stretch your calculation skills. The step number 1 is to select the hard puzzles to train chess. Get the right puzzles, because most of you, the ones that are watching this, are used to do go for the low hanging fruit, which is going and doing chess.com puzzles, Lichess puzzles, chess tempo puzzles. Don't get me wrong, those puzzles are okay, but those aren't the type of puzzles that will get you, far. Why? Because they are not challenging you the way you're supposed to be challenged. Okay, so if you want, feel free to use the chess.com puzzles. All right, but if you're going to do that, set up a hard difficulty. Okay, and set up the position. The step 2 is go through the 2-step framework that I'm going to show you how it looks like. And here it is. This framework, the 2-step ahead framework, has 4 steps. The first one is seeking clarity, which means understanding the position better. Before you even start calculating a move, you gotta see what's going on, understand the position better. You need to actively set aside from 1 to 3 minutes to describe the position. If you're solving a puzzle, and the puzzle is so easy that you don't even need to think about what's going on, then that means you're not supposed to solve that puzzle in the first place, because it's too easy. You're not challenging yourself. You already know what to do. Okay? So you will know the puzzle is difficult if you don't know what's going on, or it's hard for you to come up with a solution. So you need to seek clarity first. Step 2 is selecting candidate moves, which means find ways to play the position. Create a list of 2 or 3 moves that you think you like, and these moves you are selecting need to have a relation with your previous analysis. No worries, maybe this is kind of abstract. I'm going to show you a specific example of how to use this, okay? But I'm just explaining you how the step-by-step system works. Step 3 is calculating your moves, which means calculating accurately each variation. Like you have in step 2, you have option A, option B, and in step 3, what you're gonna do is you're gonna calculate option A, your move A, your move B. Okay, and here's where you're gonna spend more of your time. And in the 4th step, you will double check. Once you have calculated a line that you like and you feel that's the one, you will double check. What are you gonna do? You're just gonna watch. You're just gonna read your analysis, and you will try to find flaws in your calculation. And if you can't find flaws, good, move on, make your move. But if you find a mistake, maybe you missed a move for your opponent, then that means that you need to start over again. Okay? The whole process can take you depending on how good you are at this, 10 minutes, 50 minutes, 20 minutes, I don't know. This is like, let's say 20 minutes. 20 minutes in a puzzle. Yeah, but it's okay. You're working the right skills. I'm going to show you how this works in a second. And then you just need to repeat this every day. This practice can take you from 30 to an hour a day, and you will start improving your calculation skills. I mean, every day will be ideal. I know there are other areas of the game you also need to pay attention to, but like I said, this is the number one thing you need to improve right now. because you also need to play, you also need to get some other concepts, you need to review your games, So if you can delegate that aspect, that will be even better. How can you delegate it? Hire a coach. But this thing is gonna, push you further. Here I have an example. Okay, now I'm gonna show you how to use this step-by-step framework. Here's where I suggest, if you want, pause the video. This is not an easy puzzle, but take some notes here because it's important. Actually, this is the most important part of the video. I'm gonna show you how the system works and the thing you gotta do. First of all, I extracted this puzzle from a book. I'm gonna let you know later what are the books I would use if I was you. You can use Chess School combinations, or you can use Chess King apps. I like them. I got this puzzle from a Chess School book, and I like this book. So we got step one, which is seeking clarity in this position. We got this puzzle. This puzzle is not easy, and we need to seek clarity first. Okay, so if I would, if I have to solve this puzzle, the first thing I would do is, okay, what's going on? I'm not even gonna think in terms of moves. I'm gonna think in terms of what's going on. First, guys, it is very important. If the first thing you think when you want to make a move is, oh, what is the best move here? Let's say you're about to play and you think about, what is the best move here? That's the worst way to find the best move in chess. Okay, if you think about the best move to find the best move, that's the most ineffective way, because that doesn't mean anything. So this is like a structured approach that will help you to find better moves systematically, and you can repeat it over and over again. So the step one is seeking clarity. Okay, which actually means it's like black is up. Okay, so what's going on here? Let's describe the position. In this position, black is up a piece, right? And black is forking the pawns. The bishop is attacking the pawn on c2 and the pawn on g6, right? If you can notice, the pawn on c2 and the pawn on g6 are being attacked. And well, the only chance for white to win is to promote the pawn, to push this pawn further, okay? Because the pawns promote in this direction. So basically here we don't have a lot of options. We need to make a move now. But still, in the part of selecting the candidate moves, I choose two moves: bishop d3 and pawn to g7. So we have g7, bishop d3, which actually means we can push the pawn or play bishop d3 to defend the pawn. And now here I decided to calculate this. Here's my process. I would type this down. Here's another important thing: when it comes to follow this framework, it is important to type this down. It is important to write your ideas down. It's critical to do it. And it's also important to do it in a way that is pretty organized and pretty clean. Now, depending on how's your expertise solving chess puzzles and studying chess, this may be difficult or not. This is what it means. I was calculating, try to not look on the right, but I was trying to calculate bishop d3 and pawn to g7. I instantly, discarded this move because my opponent can simply sacrifice the bishop. In worst case scenario, he can sacrifice the knight for the pawn. And my opponent is getting a draw. Therefore, black, why I'm not gonna win this. So that's why here I'm just calculating g7 as an option. And here the thing is, if pawn g7, your opponent has two options now: bishop h7 and bishop d5. This is what I mean. If you play g7 here, your opponent only has two options: bishop d5, bishop h7. This is very important because when you want to calculate, when you're calculating, when the moment before you make a move, you gotta find what are the options of your opponent. Why? Because you want to be 2 steps ahead, which means you wanna anticipate to whatever your opponent throws at you. Okay? So that's why here, when I say A, pawn to g7, and that's variation A, I am creating variation 8.1, 8.2. Variation 8.1 is bishop h7, bishop d3. And variation 8.2 is bishop d5. And this is what I mean. If my opponent plays the move bishop h7, bishop d3. This is what I mean here. And the plus minus means I'm winning this. Why? Because after this, I'm attacking the bishop, and if you notice, the bishop is the only piece my opponent can use to prevent the promotion. If he takes my bishop, I can promote. I win this. Or I can even take the bishop first, and then I promote, and I win this. And then what he's going to do? He can't do anything. I just win in this. What would be a mistake? A mistake would be to finish here, to stop here, to be like, oh, bishop d3, if he takes, I promote g8, and I win. Okay, that is a mistake, because that's not the only good option for your opponent. Like I said, your opponent has two options: bishop d7, bishop d5, bishop e7. And the reason why I'm putting so much emphasis here is because when you have a weak thinking in your chess, you can spot the winning sequence, but miss some other variations on the air. And the problem of this is that maybe you know the winning line, but you are not 2 steps ahead. Like your opponent surprises you with something that you weren't expecting, and it's not like his move is good. It's just like he does something that you didn't expect, and then he surprises you, and then you make a blunder, and you lose the initiative, you lose the advantage, and you end up losing the game. So part of the 2 steps ahead philosophy is that you can be 2 steps ahead, so you anticipate to everything. So it is important that before you make your move bishop d3, I mean, if before you make g7, you already know what to do if your opponent do this and do that. And that's why here, I also consider bishop d5, this line, bishop d5, g7, bishop d5. Okay, that's the other thing I was considering. After bishop d5, there are 4 things I consider. c4, bishop f3, bishop d4 check. Okay, not in a particular order, but let's say you do bishop d4 check. That's one thing I consider as my options. This is what, oh, by the way, maybe I am rushing this up, but what I'm doing here is like, if my opponent plays bishop d5, what I can do? What can I do? So I go back to step 2, which is selecting candidate moves again to find a winning idea. If I just promote bishop takes, I'm not going to win that. If I play a check, I'm not going to win this. He's going to play king d8, and then what? Right? But here I found an interesting idea, which is pawn to c4, which is a very, very interesting idea, and this is how I can win this game. The idea is to attack this bishop, so if he takes, I can take the bishop, and if knight takes, queen g8. I mean, pawn to g8, and I win. Right? That's my idea, and I think I didn't. Yeah, well, I didn't put it here, but that's something that can happen. If c4 and bishop takes c4. Knight takes g8. But of course, my opponent can do other things, such as simply bishop e6 and not taking the pawn. Here's the thing: now that the king and the bishop are aligned to this diagonal, I can play bishop e4, and that's basically the idea I selected here. Kind of different because here, I mean, first of all, the reason why bishop e4 is a winning move is because I'm attacking the bishop and the king. If he takes my bishop, now the bishop doesn't defend g8 anymore, so I can promote. I win. And if he doesn't, I just take the bishop and I win again. So here, actually, the strongest line was knight takes c4. In this position after c4, knight takes c4, but still I have bishop f3 now. What is my idea with bishop f3? To deflect the bishop, so the bishop doesn't go to defend g8 anymore. Of course, he's not forced to take my bishop, so I selected bishop f3, bishop e6. What if my opponent doesn't play according to my plan? Basically, that's the mindset, and 99% of players lack this mindset. What if your opponent doesn't play according to your plan? Because when you're calculating, I'm pretty sure that everything works in your mind because you're like, I'm going to do this and then do that and then do that and then do that. And you select random moves for your opponent, thinking that he's going to play the way you desire. But it turns out that no, he's not going to do that. So bishop e6 is a response, I mean, what if he doesn't take? Okay, bishop d4. And now, I don't care if you won or not, you gotta take the bishop. And if you don't take it, I'm gonna take your bishop and then I'm going to promote. And basically that's the solution of this puzzle. And after this, g8 is something black cannot avoid and white wins. Okay? I solved this puzzle years ago, I already knew the answer, but actually this is how I would structure my solution. This is the same system I use with my students. After this, the only thing you gotta do is double check, because we might, make a mistake in our calculation. So here we need to double check, but it turns out this is the right answer. And then the final answer is g7, bishop d5, c4. I should win this. And again, let's repeat this. G7, a bishop d5, c4. The reason why bishop f3 directly is not effective is because the bishop can go here, for example. So that's why you want to play c4. You're right, so you can create an obstacle. So if knight takes bishop f3, the bishop cannot escape to here or here. And after this, bishop d4, white wins. Okay, of course, this is a hard puzzle. I would say this is a puzzle for players that are above 1500 plus, all right? I wouldn't use this difficulty for someone who is around 1000, okay? But because this idea c4, bishop f3 demands that you have a good understanding of pins, forks, also deflection, those themes, they need to be very clear. You gotta study them first. But in case you are at that level, this puzzle is wonderful. Okay, why the 2 steps ahead framework? Okay, Diego, why are you putting this framework this way? Because, 2 steps to solve a puzzle. Why? Okay, I'm going to explain you why. Every step has a reason. Okay, what is the first step? Seeking clarity. Okay, that's the first step. And when you go through this step, you need to set aside 1 to 3 minutes. Okay, when you do that, you first train your mind to avoid the stupid impulse of making a move. This way, you will reduce 80% of the blunders. When you have a position in front of you, what most people do is, okay, let me play this. Why are you going to do that? Why do you do that? If you play, let's say that the position is a trigger. You see this trigger is your move, or is your turn, is your turn. Why do you make your move? Why do you rush? No. Don't rush. Don't make a move. First, think about what's going on, and then think about the move. But first, try to study the position. At least do it for 10 seconds before making your move. You know? So this is very important. Seeking clarity. It helps you to understand the position, and it helps you to avoid the urge of making a move. That's one important thing. Second thing is, you also reflect on your opponent's intentions, his last move, his plan, his weaknesses, and his strengths. You know? That's why you want to seek clarity first. What is the second step? The second step is selecting candidate moves, which means you will first realize you have options and won't calculate the first thing that comes to your mind. This way, you'll save a lot of time on the clock. Again, this is very important. Now that you understand what's going on, you're going to be like, okay, I'm winning because his king is very weak, okay? So I think I should attack the king. What are my options? Okay, now assuming that there are no threats, like your opponent is not creating any threat, you should be like, okay, I'm gonna put my queen on g5 to, attack the king, or maybe I can push my pawn first to damage his pawn structure. This candidate move list makes sense in the context that your advantage is winning the game, is like attacking the king. You will think about moves that help you to respond to that analysis. Most people, even if they try to seek clarity, sometimes they don't believe in their assessment of the position. It's like they know they have to attack, and instead of attacking, they try to defend, overprotect the king, not losing the pawn, and they miss the big picture. So it's like, yes, you need to have candidate moves, but you also need to understand what's going on, because this candidate move list is going to be a result of your previous analysis. This has to respond to this. In other words, this responds to this. The same applies with step 3. This responds to this, and this responds to this. And I'm going to explain you how this works. But basically, when you select candidate moves, you need to realize that also you have options. Another reason why most people make mistakes is because they think about one move and they forget they have other alternatives, especially in situations that are very complex when there are many checks, captures, threats. They just get fixated in one thing when they can do different options, and they are not considering that. That's what they call tunnel vision, right? Do you suffer from tunnel vision? Okay, this is why. Okay, you need to train your mind to select candidate moves every single time. All right. What is the third step? Calculating moves accurately. Third step, right? Here, in this part, you will train your mind to be concrete and precise. Okay. Some people they see one thing, they calculate one move, and they just stop and they're like, this looks good. I hope I can make it work. Let's do this move. No, that's wrong. What you gotta do is you need to keep pushing your calculation forward and forward and forward as much as you can. Of course, this is a challenging thing, right? But that's why you train your mind to do this. And when you calculate, you're going to push your mind to find better ways to apply an idea. But this calculation needs to be concrete and precise. Okay? Also, in this step, you must spot your opponent's best answers. Otherwise, it won't work. And here's where most people, how do I know your calculation is weak? Because you get outplayed by your opponents all the time in situations when you're winning. It's like it feels like your opponent is 2 steps ahead, when in fact you should be the one who's 2 steps ahead. And the only way to do this is by working here. But again, you can only calculate ideas, these type of ideas, and these ideas come from this step. And by double checking, you'll train your mind to always make sure that your ideas are good, even if they don't look obvious. You always need to get the habit of find flaws in your ideas, because most of the time your ideas have flaws, and you need to accept that, and you need to look for better alternatives. And if you double check and everything looks okay, then go on, But the thing is, you can go through the 4-step framework in the training, because when you're thinking in a game, maybe you won't have the time. By the way, this won't work in Bullet, this won't work in Blitz. You can only apply this properly in games, rapid games. Okay, so if you're a player that is only interested in Bullet and Blitz, this is not going to help you at all. You need to be ready to start playing or daily chess or rapid chess to apply this framework until you fix your habits. I didn't mention this, but if you make blunders, and you only play Bullet and Blitz, good luck improving your chess. You won't improve your chess. Okay, this system to train your calculation skills is the best because it actually helps you to reprogram your mind, destroy your bad habits of playing, and replace them with good habits. It works this way. Poor playing habits reinforce weak calculation, and the result is blunders, put results, getting stuck. Again, remember, you are not progressing because the way how you think before your moves is weak. Your calculation is weak. Better playing habits through the Stupstead head system.
practice a strong calculation, you improve your calculation, and the results are fewer blunders, higher accuracy, and chess progress. Okay? Now, what about the other areas of your game? What about the tactics? What about openings? What about end games, middle games? Okay, the reason why I put so much emphasis on calculation skills is because, that this is a skill that masters the other skills. However, the other areas are also important. So, remember, what is the roadmap of 2000? This is something we discussed earlier. Stretching your calculation skills through harder puzzles, studying concepts to improve your game, playing games and studying them after, right? How to make everything work? Well, actually, this is the question: how to have massive success at chess. So I would like to review first what is the layman's study plan. This is the thing that most people are doing, but this is the training routine that most people are doing right now, and that's why they're stuck, which is solve generic puzzles, take random lessons, watch random YouTube, Twitch videos, study opening courses. Okay? I mean, this works, kind of, but everyone is doing this, so don't expect that you get an edge of this. And if you notice, there is nothing such as improving my calculation skills. No one is doing this. So, no wonder why they're stuck. And here's another screenshot. Struggling to improve at chess as an adult. Any tips? Everyone suggests the same. Tactics, repeat tactics, endgame puzzles, play more, read books, analyze your games. Feels repetitive and effective. Any different tips? Yeah, actually, that's why. Everyone is doing the same, but they are not taking care of the way how they make decisions before their move. I don't know why. This doesn't work because it lacks a structure, first of all. There's no real plan, and it doesn't target any weaknesses, okay? And remember this. Your training is only good if you're fixing your weaknesses. And every player has different weaknesses, different contexts, different situations. Okay? So whatever you do in chess, if you want to make it effective, if you don't have a lot of time because you have to work, you have to take care of your family, and chess is a hobby, but you want to improve at it, okay, make a list of your weaknesses and target them. Okay? I don't want to run here, but it amazes me how many people are taking opening courses when the number one problem is that they blunder pieces or don't apply the fundamentals correctly. Okay? Not knowing what to study and how to do it is the main reason you are not even close to reaching your true potential. And the only way to improve your chess smartly is by targeting your current weaknesses. And for that, you need a customized training plan. And let me show you the case of Nathan. I talked about Nathan before. Nathan had some problems when I met him. This was his starting point. He got some problems, lack of guidance, lack of time. He got a poor opening repertoire for sure. And he knew a lot of concepts, middle game concepts, but failed to apply them in games because it's hard to peel these concepts once you watch them. He also got bad playing habits, like trading material to make positions easier. Instead of keeping the material, he traded this material to make the things easier. Lack of concrete calculation. When he was calculating, he was like, he didn't do this on purpose, but he was like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and that. It might work. Let's see. That's not concrete. That's not precise. And he got a poor tactical vision. And his results, he played a tournament, he scored 2 out of 9 in a tournament, and he was stuck on 1600 for years. Now, once he entered in Primo Chess Coaching, which is my chess program, we found some solutions. I offered him some solutions. The first one is a training plan that adjusts to his lifestyle. So every month, we gained some, I gave him a training plan, and every month I was like adjusting this plan depending on his lifestyle, because from time to time he had to work, he had to travel. So we got a very customized plan that target his weaknesses. And also we changed and improved his opening repertoire. The reason why I'm putting emphasis here is because when you're around 1700, your opening repertoire matters. But still, that's not the most important thing, but it still matters. And also I trained him on how to convert his game better. Like, he used to have like winning positions that he couldn't convert. Why? Because his calculation skills were weak, among other things. So we work on that. And I gave him with things like accountability. I told him, hey, do this, and that, train this way. We got calls every week. So that's how I help him. And we also focus on improving his playing habits. So his playing habits. Instead of being vague on how to calculate, he was calculating concrete lines. Instead of being like, I can do this and this might happen, he was more like, I'm going to do this and my opponent now is forced to do that, and then I'm going to do this. That's what I mean, being 2 steps ahead, right? So, also I told him to stop unnecessary tradings and playing with more initiative. The results, eventually he reached a 2000 rating. In OTV, that the FIDE, maybe you don't know the FIDE, but there are something called OTV tournaments over the board, real tournaments. He got a 1700 plus ELO, and his confidence now is peak. Here's a picture of him in one of the tournaments he played in Italy. He got a medal, and actually, he was very, very happy about his results. In this position, for example, he was playing this position in the tournament. I remember, I took a screenshot of this because it's very cool. He shared this in the group we have with other students. And in this position, this happened in a tournament. His opponent played knight f4, and then he played queen takes knight, knight f3, and that's how he won the game. And he scored a good, he got a good rating after this. Well, yeah, he reached 7. Actually, highest rating is almost like 2100. So yeah, he's. So I wanted to share with you Nathan's story so you can inspire yourself, and also you can see it's possible to improve and make your chess journey very, very cool. Now, if you decide to train, there are three things you should consider, and I feel like if you can get these three things, you will improve a lot. This is what I call the big three elements to improve your chess. You can have the best frameworks, you can have access to the best content in form of books, courses, or even coaches, and yet to fail all the same. Because to be successful, it takes more than just the right information. To win big time, you don't need more information. Actually, you need being consistent. You need consistent implementation. Here's another screenshot I took. This guy is saying, 5 years ago, I started playing, and I have not really improved in rating beyond the initial 800. What's wrong? I know I'm probably playing too much Blitz, which is not best, but still, I understand and play by basic opening principles. I rarely hang free pieces for no reason, and I do a bunch of tactic puzzles. It doesn't have to be amazing, but after 4 years of playing and a bit of studying almost every day, I expected to improve at least a bit, and this is not the case. What could be going wrong? So it is important to be consistent, but also it's important to be consistent on the right things. That's why it is important to work on your calculation. But now that we're going to talk about how to train, I want to give you some other information about how to make your training more effective so you don't have to live this living hell that most people are living right now. So if you're an adult chess player with many responsibilities, you might desire to improve, but realistically, you might feel that now is not a good time to train and take chess more seriously, which is okay. Like I said, I get that chess can be overwhelming because you need to study openings, middle games, and a lot of things. But now that you watch this, just focus on one thing at a time, your calculation skills. But what about the other things, right? So a lot of people don't like to take the decision of, maybe this is not the right time. But the truth is that if you focus on the right things, this is going to be easier for you, okay? Or maybe you're already taking action and trying to improve on your own, but need a better plan. So all of these challenges are always going to be there. And I think it is all about making your training sustainable, a training plan that suits your goals and also your lifestyle, right? Also, a training plan that helps you to focus on building long-term skills, no shortcuts, no opening traps, but long-term skills, and that fits your schedule, because at the end of the day, the last thing that you want to do after a long day of work is to feel like your training is even harder and harder and harder. I mean, it's going to be challenging for sure, but it has to be fun. Otherwise, why are you going to do it, right? In my experience, you can achieve this by, focusing on these three things or getting these three things. One is knowing your weaknesses. If you know your weaknesses, it's going to be easier for you to improve now that you can target them. Second thing is having a plan that focuses on fixing these weaknesses. And the third thing is getting a world-class support, customized feedback. For example, it's not easy to study your games when you don't have a clue about what things you need to pay attention to. It's very common to analyze your games with a computer, and the engine won't tell you exactly what you're doing wrong. So I know that it's hard, or it's easy to stop training and quit when your life gets more hectic and you don't have a plan to make it sustainable, so you quit. It's hard to implement the right things if you don't know what you're doing and you lack support and no one holds you accountable. And that's why all these free resources aren't enough to make sustainable progress. Whatever method you choose to improve your chess, I encourage you to choose one that fits your lifestyle, is sustainable, and gives you the support you deserve. And here are some options. In case you want to study your chess by your own, here are some options. And I want to show you what is the best and worst of every option, so you have a menu of ideas. So for example, Chessable. I have taken some Chessable courses. I think they're good. I know, but at least if you know what you're doing, I think you can get the most out of Chessable. Does Chessable give you frameworks to train the right skills? Not all the courses. Some courses are more focused on repetition, memorization. But the truth is that it's hard to, apply those concepts you're learning when every position feels different. It's the same. So I would say the quality that you can get in this aspect is not that big. You can train some skills for sure, but there are other skills that are not easy to train in Chessable. Now, learn concepts that fix your weaknesses. If you know what you're doing and what you're looking for, then yeah, this is pretty high. I think Chessable is a good source. For example, if you know that your opening repertoire just sucks and you have identified what opening repertoire you need, I guess this can be great support. However, if you take the wrong courses or you buy for a course that is too advanced for you, your experience is going to be horrible. But I mean, as long as you know what you're doing, I think you can learn cool things in Chessable. Get your games review and understand your mistakes. Low. Chessable won't help you to understand your mistakes necessarily. Again, it's mainly focused on that you get cool concepts, but not necessarily the Chessable platform is going to let you know you're making mistakes here, and that. World class support plus feedback is also low. I mean, you don't get a lot of support. Like the coach that is giving the class is not going to tell you how to use that information and apply it into your games. But still, I mean, it's okay. Chess.com or Lichess features. Chess.com has premium features. Lichess is free. But regarding frameworks to train the right skills, again, it's low. Like they can give a lot of information, right? Or they can also give you puzzles. I mean, the puzzles are fine, but sometimes, I mean, the puzzles are not that great, and they won't give you frameworks to train. For example, the two-step ahead framework is a framework, it's a system. Chess.com doesn't have that. Learn concepts that will fix your weaknesses. Medium. It's not customized. Again, same problem as Chessable. It's hard to tell if that information is good for you or not. Don't get me wrong. I feel like Chess.com has great lessons for the premium features, in the premium feature. But if you don't pay for that, I mean, you can pay, but still, again, you can get all the information, but it can be hard for you to apply that information. So I would say it's medium. Games review and understand your mistakes. I think like this is the strongest point of Chessable and Lichess. However, even if the engine shows you what are your mistakes, the computer is not going to understand. The engine is not going to show you why that mistake is a mistake. Like the analysis is accurate and superficial at the same time. So it's very hard to know what exactly a move is a mistake, unless you're giving a queen for free. That's obvious, but there are some mistakes that are not that obvious. So they don't explain that to you. I would say it's medium. And well, again, support methods plus feedback, I would say it's low. And well, you can always do it by yourself if you want. You can try to, if you try to do it by yourself and you want, actually you can do it by yourself, plus getting Chessable, plus getting chess.com. Again, there's a high chance that you don't get the right frameworks to train the right skills, to train the correct, how to calculate, how to play the middle game, how to think. So it's low. Learn concepts and, the fix your weaknesses low because, there's a lot of people who are buying the wrong courses, the getting the wrong information that is not suitable for their situation. So it's kind of low. Also, when it comes to get your games review, also, it's not very effective because, again, if you don't have someone that explains you what are your mistakes in your games, then it's going to be, the effectiveness is going to be very low. And well, getting support in class, if you do it by yourself, well, it's going to be zero, right? Don't expect like too much feedback because no one is going to be there helping you. In my experience, the most effective way to improve your chess is by focusing on your main weaknesses, and most options out there won't give you that level of clarity. But if you get the chance to work with someone who can provide you with those insights, you'll progress like never before. In that case, my recommendation is to get a coach so he can help you to point you out in the right direction, right? Let me show you the case of Khalid, another member of Premium Chess Coaching. When he started working with me, he applied the lame study plan, which means playing some openings. He used to play the same openings for years, and he used Chessable for tactics, endgames, and puzzles. However, for some reason, he couldn't use those principles to play his games. Like it was hard for him to grasp those concepts and use them in his games. Also, he was carrying some bad playing habits, like trading pieces to make things easier. This is a classic. Playing impulsively in critical moments, not considering enough possible moves in critical positions. Therefore, when he reached critical positions, he tended to make a lot of bad moves, and he was stuck on 1700 for a long time. And this is a typical game I'll show you. So, for example, in this game, he was playing e4, d5. There's a Scandinavian defense, and at some point, I want you to reach the middle game. Okay, he reached the middle game, and he didn't have a clear plan. And here his opponent played the move pawn to c5, breaking the center, and after pawn takes, queen takes d1, rook takes knight to d7, and then from there his opponent had the chance to get the pawn. And look, we get this type of position that is dry. This is not very active. Black has finished the development with no problems. And that's the type of game he was used to play, It's like in this position he has the white pieces. However, it doesn't feel like white has some sort of initiative, which that should be the opposite. When you play with the white pieces, you should have some sort of initiative, right? But for some reason he couldn't get or find his way. And, he ended up getting these dry games without queens, without a clear plan. And eventually, well, his opponent with no, now if you notice, the computer says that actually black is better. This one is not good. So, I mean, this is the type of games he used to have a lot, right? And yeah, dry games, no clear plans in the middle game. Then, in the first moment inside of Premium Chess Coaching, we changed completely the training plan, and I proposed him some customized puzzles for his level with a more emphasis on calculating concrete lines. It's like, okay, I want you to make an assessment of this position and calculate this position. How will you play? And I prepare some positions exactly for his level. And then I change, like I said, when you get to 1600, 1700, your opening repertoire is better. It should be better, at least. And I created a new opening repertoire for him for, he make a shift. Yeah, he switched from e5 to c5 to play the Sicilian. And this process of learning a new opening, it's very, very easy if you have the right guidance. It's like when it comes to improve your calculation skills, you gotta do it by yourself. I mean, with the right puzzles and with the right structure. When it comes to learn other concepts such as openings or middle games, it's better that you can delegate that. In this case, a coach that can do that work for you, so you can save up a lot of time and make things more effective. So that's what we did. I trained him to play the c5, the Sicilian, and also gave him a very personalized training plan, one-on-one plus support. Also, we changed his playing habits, to embrace better playing habits, and I taught him how to think better. Candidate moves. Maybe you're familiar with the candidate moves, maybe you're not, but basically it's the idea of getting a list. That's the step 2 of the 2 steps ahead framework. And so he always reminded himself that I have options, especially in critical moments. Also, I taught him how to keep the tension and avoid trades, and how to play dry positions. I mean, how to go from dry positions to dynamic middle game positions. And in 30 days, Khaled went from 1700 to 1900, almost, 1760 to 1890 in 30 days, 130 points. His game became more sharper, better, and he was more like confident about his style. And now I want to show you a critical difference from this game that was very dry to this other game. So in this other game, Khaled again has the white pieces. In this case, his opponent decided to play the modern defense, and then he plays with queen d2, bishop e3, pawn to f4, more aggressive if you notice. In this case, he won't seek a trade of queens. He will try to play aggressively in the center. Pawn takes, bishop takes, knight f6, long castle, short castle. So first difference is like now he's trying approaches with long castle, which is something that we were studying during our one-on-one coaching calls. I taught him the value of, in some positions, if it's possible to castle queenside, and I explained in some typical middle game plans in the openings he was playing. So actually here he went after bishop h6, bishop takes e5. Look, take a look at this, e5. He's not developing right now his kingside, but he's attacking right now. And yeah, actually king knight to g8, pawn to h4, knight e7, pawn to h5. You can see a drastic difference. Like in the other game I show you, he traded queens very early in the game. It was a very dry game. In this game, the queens are still there. This position is pretty unbalanced in terms of the pawn structure. And now white is going to attack on the h-file with all of this material. That's exactly the type of game we train over, during the weeks. And well, eventually he ended up winning this game. Well, a couple of moves later, his opponent resigned. Queen e6 is coming. Completely, the difference is, notable. And yeah, that's basically what he did, and he improved his rating. He was very, very close to hit the 1900. But yeah, basically, that's the part of the things we did inside of the program. So here's an opportunity for you. If so far you like what you have watched, imagine you could change the way how you play and think. Okay, imagine you could pull off brilliant tactics and moves. Imagine you could feel more confident and enthusiastic about your chess training and progress. Imagine that you could be able to tell the ideas and moves of your opponent onto the point where it feels you're always 2 steps ahead. It's possible. Okay, it's possible to enjoy chess, to improve your chess without investing 4 hours a day, without like spending training like a pro. You can do it. You can improve. Of course, it requires some effort for sure, some time, but you can do it. And if you love the game, I don't see a reason why you couldn't or you shouldn't give yourself the chance. Imagine getting world-class support, having all your questions answered, having your games reviewed in an understandable way, and receiving a customized training plan that fixes your weaknesses. You can make it possible. It can happen, And let me show you how the Premium Chess coaching experience looks like. This is the program I have, in case that you like what you have watched so far. I have a chess program called Premium Chess Coaching that helps you with stretching your calculation skills through hard puzzles, studying concepts to improve your games, and playing games and studying them after. How? I'll let you know. First of all, the program has different pillars. One of the main pillars is adapting the 2 steps ahead system into your chess training, so you accelerate your progress. Depending on your level, your calculation needs to be different, so you must adapt it. I mean, you watch how the system works. Feel free to copy it, right? I mean, I created it, but feel free to copy it and use it for your own. But if you want me to install it, like to watch your games and explain you how to do it properly at the level you are, because every level, a 1,000 rating player has different needs than an 1,800, right? So if you are 1,200, I have to explain you how the process works. And if you are a 1,900 rating player, I have to explain you how to apply this system for your current level. But okay, I can help you to adapt this system into your training. Doesn't matter what's your level. And that way you can accelerate your progress and master your calculation skills now, this year. The year is going to end very, very soon. If you want to get like these new skills before the year ends, there's a great opportunity. And this is one of the pillars of the program. A second pillar of the program is to have a tailor-made training plan. Khaled, Nathan, these are one I show you some examples, but I have more. And every client of Premium Chess Coaching has, have its own tailor-made training plan. So basically, you will get a customized training plan. You will have access to my videos on different themes depending on your current level, and learn the concepts you need to perform like a 2000 rated player. You don't have to figure out what to do or what concept you need to study. Everything is explained in detail. For example, here I took a screenshot of one of the plans I created for one of the students. And as you can see here, I defined some goals. Here, one of the goals was to improve the opening repertoire, make it more competitive for OTV. OTV means tournaments. There are people who are more interested in playing tournaments, so depending on what are your goals, I also create a plan specifically for you. And improve, D4 with white, improve C5 with black. Once again, opening repertoires are important at some extent, and it's much better if you have someone who can create all of this for you, so you don't have to worry about it, and you can focus on the thing that really matters, like improving your calculation skills, of course, with some help. Also improve your positional operations understanding, which means improving your technique to convert the advantage, know when to trade and when not to, how to change your pawn structure to favor your pieces, and improving your calculation skills. How? And here I gave the student some, he understands, but basically some access to some courses and some other stuff. So you will get like a detailed plan, and actually week by week or month by month, we take a look at this plan to see how well the plan is going. Also, every week we review the plan and make some tweaks. Yeah, I already say it. And you have access to the platform. I have all my classes, all my videos and modules and courses inside of one platform, the school platform. And once you get into Premium Chess Coaching, you have access to this material. And again, my idea is not to give you like hundreds, thousands of videos. I'm going to give you the videos I know you need in your level so you can improve. The third pillar is access to a powerful community of smart, successful people like you. All the members of Premium Chess Coaching are inside of one group. And you can learn from other players, other students who are already at the level you want to be. If you are a 1,000 rating level player, we have students who are already in 13, 14, 16, 1800, 2000, so you can learn from them. Also, you can keep yourself motivated and share your wins and participate in group coaching calls. Inside of the Premium Chess Coaching, I offer one-on-one coaching calls and also group coaching calls, so you can meet the other members and we can share games and ideas. And here you can see some screenshots. Feel free to put pause. But here you can see some screenshots of people sharing some wins, sharing some tips, sharing some, some experiences, right? For example, this was from the day Aziz beat his first 2000 rated opponent, the day that Nathan got to 2000, the day that Rick beat his nemesis, his friend of the club, the day that Rafael crossed the 1400 for the first time. You can celebrate your victories with people just like you. The cool thing about it is that, you can, if you're someone who travels a lot and you eventually want to travel and play in tournaments internationally, this is going to be a nice experience for you as well, because some members of this group travel together and they play tournaments as well, and there are some meetups, so it's a great experience. If you want it, not necessarily you will get a nice time if you want to play a tournament in the future, but if not, it's also fine. And the pillar number 4 of the program is getting world-class support. Access to weekly one-on-one coaching calls with me, so we can talk about your games, we can talk about any questions you have, and also the chat support. If you want, you can send me your games, we can discuss them on WhatsApp or over chat. You can send me your games. If you need it, I can give you daily accountability, and you can ask me whatever question you have in the moment. You play a game, you want to share that game with me so we can discuss it, you can do it. So you can get world-class support if you get into Premium Chess Coaching. And like I said, once again, here are the other options. Remember, Chessable, chess.com, do it by yourself, give you some sort of support, but it's not enough for that person who is busy, that adult player that needs more customization. And if you're someone who's looking for a premium service, well, Premium Chess Coaching is the right fit for you. Also, another option could be, get an early rate coach, But once again, that coach can help you with some things. But at the same time, I feel like Premium Chess Coaching has good things like no other program has. For example, in terms of frameworks about how to calculate better, we have frameworks. Not only the 2 steps ahead framework, but also frameworks to play better the middle game, frameworks to understand better the positions you have in front of you. I have many frameworks that you. Also, you can learn concepts that fix your weaknesses. Like I said, I have a library of a lot of videos I've created that I know I can send you in a specific order so you can watch them to unlock the next level. Also, you can get your games review and understand your mistakes. And, if you need it, I can give you support every single day, So, like I said, Premium Chess Coaching is the best option for those adult players who want to accelerate the improvement, achieve maximum efficiency, and want a world-class support. If you want, you can be part of Premium Chess Coaching too. I accept a few spots since I try to make this experience premium and hyper-customized. So every month I accept a limited amount of students to work one-on-one with me. This invitation is for you if you truly want to get better at chess and want a more serious approach. You're ready to commit to becoming a better chess player and don't want to make half-assed effort. You're already successful in life and want the same for your chess, and you value your time over everything else and don't look for trying things randomly. And of course, you're over 30 years old. If you gather these requisites, then I have a gift for you. Let me invite you to a free 30-minute consultation call to discuss your current situation and how the program can help you to accelerate your progress. In the call, we will talk about three main things: your current goals and biggest challenges in chess, your current study plan and how to improve it, and how the program can help you and what realistic goals you could hit in the next 3 months. If you want to book the call, go here. I'm also dropping the link in here below the video. You can find it in the description of the video. And yeah, I hope that we can, talk about your game, and so I can meet you and meet your needs. And in case you don't, you feel like you feel like the program is for you, I'm going to explain you how it works. And in case that we are not a good match, I'm going to point you in the right direction. Okay, let's recap what we learned today. The number one reason why you lose is because you make many blunders, and you make blunders because you have bad/poor playing habits. The master skill in chess is calculation. Spend more time training it, and this will elevate all your chess. I invite you to use the two-step ahead framework if you need it. Your time will always be limited. Don't focus on making your training perfect, but sustainable. When training other areas of your games, focus on your main weaknesses. The best way to do it is by hiring someone who can point out your mistakes and teach you how to think. The best way to improve your chess is by getting frameworks and systems to improve the key skills, study key concepts, customize to your level, get customized feedback and understandable feedback on your games, and of course, get world-class support to stay motivated, accountable, and consistent. Remember, the lamest chess study plan, which means YouTube videos, play random games, taking random courses, is for people who may have acid efforts. Real progress can only happen if you make a deliberate effort to improve your weaknesses. You need to take your training more seriously. You don't need 4 hours to a day. You don't need 4 hours a day, just one. To take your train chess more seriously. Most people feel like they have to invest a lot of time, but the truth is, no. You only need to focus on the right things, and of course, have fun. After all, that's why we play chess. Okay, this is it for today. Like I said, if you want to book a call with me, this is the link. I'm dropping the link below, and this is it. If you have any questions and you want to get to me, I recommend you to send me a message. Shoot me a message on chess.com. My nickname is, what's my nickname? Chess Coach Diego. Find me there, send me a message, or you can book the call directly. I hope you learned something valuable in this masterclass, and I hope to see you in the next ones.